Partygate has sprung back on the political agenda, with Boris Johnson referred to the police over new allegations he broke lockdown rules with gatherings at Chequers during the COVID pandemic.
This week also saw Suella Braverman held to task after she reportedly asked for help from the civil service in dealing with a speeding fine.
It begs the question, well, it certainly does, doesn't it? Are certain members of the Tory party being hounded out by the civil service? Well, joining us now to discuss this is former head of PR at 10 Downing Street in the Cameron years, Giles Kenningham, MBE. So, really, have we got activist civil servants wanting to oust the Tory government?
I mean, certainly I've never seen anything like it. There has been, pretty much an unprecedented number of leaks. And really, I think what you're seeing is a civil service who feel emboldened and who probably think the Tory government is in its dying days. I think there's going to be a new administration, so there's no sense of fear there. I think the level of leaks and the level of detail of the leaks has been quite astounding at times. And I do think we have a situation where they think they can do this without any consequence. So, yeah, I mean, I would be incredibly worried if I was inside number 10 and the government at the moment, because these leaks are pretty explosive at time, and they are incredibly destabilising to the administration.
Giles, if you were there, you said you'd be pretty worried if you were in number 10 now. Obviously, you've got an array of leaks. You've got some going to The Guardian about that was bullying with Rob. You've got some deciding they'll send information to the police. You've got others putting a story about Suella asking for help. What would you do if you were in number 10 now? Could you do anything?
Well, I think the point is they have to find one of these leakers and make an example of them. I mean, I remember the ironic moment when I was in there and there was a leak inquiry. And we actually found who the leaker was. And one of the senior civil servants said the whole point of leak inquiries is not to find the leaker. There was almost they were almost incredulous that we'd actually found someone. Normally they're complete whitewash. So there has to be a sense of fear that otherwise people will do this, and then they are doing it emboldened and without any consequence.
I want to know what he did with the leaker once you found them. Did they lose the job? What do you do?
Yeah, I think they did, but I think at the time it was a Lib Dem special advisor, and they just ended up losing their payoff when they left government. But I think they only got found out because they actually coughed in the end. There still wasn't the kind of explosive information. But this is the problem with many of the inquiries. They are just a complete joke. But you would think in the age of sort of, I don't know, WhatsApp, it's very hard not to leave a digital footprint when you do stuff, that really they've got to sort of get to the bottom of it. I mean, details about Boris Johnson's personal finances, whatever you think about him, I mean, it is amazing and astounding that ends up in the public domain, because surely it was only known by a handful of two people, 3 or 4, and yet that ends up on the front page of the Sunday Times. And you're seeing, this with a regular drumbeat of stories.